So I've had endometriosis since I was 21. So that's I've been suffering for over 16 years, and quite recently Abba Sadiq alayhi salam, he healed me, and this within itself is one of the greatest miracles I've got to experience firsthand from the Qaima of Ali Muhammad. It was a normal day, and endometriosis has been something that has been a big part of my life and a big cause of my suffering. It would mean I'm unable to move for a certain amount of days. I'd be bedridden. I couldn't have a normal part of my life for those days, a month. I had turned to Abba Sadiq alayhi salam because the doctors, they couldn't do anything for me. I was approaching my 40s and everything medically looked downhill. It was not good. So I'd spoken to Abba Sadiq alayhi salam, and I'd reached the point of I was broken, and I just wanted him to make everything okay again. And I knew that if the medical world couldn't do anything, and they haven't been able to do anything for me for over 21 years, I knew that Abba Sadiq would. It was a life-changing moment, I have to say. I've never experienced this before. I'd gone to Abba Sadiq and had told him of the recent medical information that the doctors had told me, and I just wanted him to help me. And he didn't even hesitate. That was the beauty of it. He saw that I was suffering. He's known about it for quite some time, and it was a mind-blowing moment. I'd gone to his office to speak to him, and then he got his hand. Now there was nothing on his hand except for his rings, and there was no markings, there was no cuts, there was nothing. And he'd rubbed an oil on his hand, and then he'd come close to me, and just he placed his hand just here. There was no physical contact, it was just here. And I just remember closing my eyes. As I closed my eyes, I remember visualizing and seeing a dark spot move away from me. And when I opened my eyes, Abba Sadiq's hand, the same hand that was had no cuts, no markings, just his rings, had droplets of blood falling from his hand. And I looked at him and I was in shock. And he even said, "Whoa, like this is a miracle." And I was so relieved. For the first time in my life, there was light at the end of the tunnel. How I know that it was definitely a cure was shortly after the endometriosis spell, the time had come where I'd usually suffer, but this time there was nothing. There was no pain, there was no cramp. I would actually forget that, oh, this is happening to me now. And every time I'd think, I don't have any pain, there's no medicines. I stopped taking medication. I would live my life fully now. And every time I think that, oh, okay, now I usually get sick around this time. I don't. It's so strange. I have a very normal life now. And every time, this is what I love about Abba Sadiq alayhi salam. Every time I think to myself, oh my gosh, I need to prepare, maybe I should get some medication. I remember that he cured me. As soon as I remember that he's cured me, it's gone. Everything's okay. There's no going to hospitals, there's no time where I'm bedbound. It's all very normal, and I forget that, oh, I'm supposed to be ill now. But with Abba Sadiq, there's none of that. And this just, for me, was one of the greatest personal miracles that he did with me, because I suffered for such a long time. And now it's beautiful, because either with this call, you either believe in it full-heartedly or you don't. There's no middle ground, and I can see that, because every time this dunya way of thinking of, oh, but the doctors have said A, B, and C, and I remember Abba Sadiq cured me. It's done. I'm cured. I don't need anything else. And with this man, the cure itself for me was just a proof that he is the Hujjah appointed by God, and there's nothing else. Once you have him, once you accept him, that's all that you'll ever need. And it doesn't matter what medical marvels say, there's no one greater than Abba Sadiq. Thank you so much for healing me.